Greetings, this is Chester Moore, founder of Higher Calling Wildlife, here in the beautiful Florida Keys, right here on the edge of a mangrove forest rich in life that literally has a little stream that flows into the Atlantic Ocean on this side. A beautiful place with beautiful wildlife. If you're watching this video, that means you clicked on our QR code and you want to know how to become a wildlife conservationist. Well, first off, we have to define what a wildlife conservationist is. Conservation means the wise use of our resources. In fishing, for example, that would be that we don't take too many trout. We figure out scientifically how many trout can be taken out of the population and set length limits, size limits, bag limits, all those different kind of things to make sure that we don't harvest too many fish. That's one example of conservation. Another example of conservation would be the seagrass flats out here, making sure that we don't destroy those seagrass flats with pollution and development and things like that. Now, a conservationist is someone who loves wildlife and loves its habitat and wants to make sure that is conserved, taken care of, used wisely for many generations to come. And there are many ways you can become a wildlife conservationist. In fact, one way is by using social media, being a conservation awareness raiser of a manatee in southern Florida. Don't just put that picture out there. Talk about the fact that there are speed zones and waterways that are designed to help protect manatees from being hit by boats. All manatees have prop scars from boats that collide with them. That kills a lot of manatees. Also talk about the importance of seagrass flat conservation because manatees eat seagrass. People can see that, think about that, and maybe choose actions to help that. You could put in a call to action that would get people involved and say, join this organization, support this cause through your social media to help manatees. That's just one prime example. Another example will be one of the loves of my heart, which is wild sheep. You could use a picture of a bighorn sheep that you took in Colorado or in Idaho or in Montana or Nevada and put that out there and say, hey, wild sheep are beautiful animals. We love seeing these big rams up on the cliffs and all of this gorgeous stuff. However, there are a lot of problems, and the main problem with wild sheep is the introduction of domestic sheep and goats that causes a respiratory pathogen to enter wild sheep herds and kill the wild sheep. Support groups like the Wild Sheep Foundation that are working on behalf of wild sheep, or other state agencies and regional and tribal groups doing things for wild sheep. That's just one way you, right now, not when you're an adult, right now, can be an activist for wildlife conservation. Then you can think about pursuing a career in wildlife conservation. I am a wildlife journalist. That means I write and broadcast about wildlife via magazines, blogs, social media, podcasts, radio, and I also do television. And my vision is to use the talents that God has given me to tell people about wildlife so they can take their own actions for the species and habitat that means something for them. Maybe you would like to be a wildlife journalist. That is one way that you can get involved in wildlife conservation. Another way is to be a biologist. You could be a marine biologist and someone who studies and researches things like manatees we talked about, or bonefish, or permit, or sharks. Or you could be a fisheries biologist that works inland and work with largemouth bass and walleye and different species of trout. Or you could be a wildlife biologist that works with birds of prey like ospreys and eagles and falcons, or works with elk and mule deer and bear. That's a great career path that'll help you get involved directly in wildlife conservation. Another thing you can do is become a game warden. Game wardens protect wildlife from poaching. Poaching is the illegal take, while hunting is ethical and animals that are hunted legally are taken under scientific guidelines. Poaching is outside of those guidelines and causes great problems for wildlife. Also, game wardens even do things like find out about pollution issues that are impacting wildlife, or people taking too many different kind of plants, rare plants out of the forest. All of those things are under the auspices of a game warden. A game warden is a great way for you to become a wildlife conservationist. All of these things, plus many more things, contribute to wildlife conservation. These are ways you can get involved in wildlife conservation. And we're going to post other ideas, but right now this is a good start for us to begin a dialogue on how to get involved in wildlife conservation. You can leave a comment below here. You can also email me at chester@chestermore.com. That's Chester at chestermore.com, so we can discuss more ways to help you fulfill your dream of becoming a wildlife conservationist.